Nostalgia. Fuck has that word taking over media. Originally, this video was going to be about leaving Teen Titans Go alone. One of the major arguments was that Teen Titans Go was a show meant for a younger audience than the original. However, Go has a certification for a slightly older audience than the original. Other major argument I had was the difference in the quality of animation. However, the original came out in 2003 and Go came out 5 years ago. Also, I don't give a fuck. Honestly, both shows wouldn't be enjoyable for an adult that isn't blinded by nostalgia. Both of the shows are extremely over the top and immature, like me. So I kept thinking about the phrase blinded by nostalgia. It's everywhere. It seems like nostalgia is the best way to sell shit. It's in movies, music, and of course the internet. I keep thinking about the outrage for things like Thundercats Roar. Some of the arguments were that it wasn't like the originals, which is an argument I hate. It's also a comment I hear a lot with comic book movies. If I wanted to see the same thing twice, I would just go back to the original. Personally, I hate watching the same thing twice. If that wasn't obvious enough, I only watch something twice if it's a piece of media that had a huge impact in my life. But if they would do a Friends reboot, for example, I would not push for it to be just like the original. That seems to kill creativity in the writer's room. However, if we use the same logic with Thundercats fans, maybe Thundercats has had a huge impact in their lives. Does that justify the toxic response to the new show?
No.
But I have a better theory why we want to go back to the things like the old Teen Titans or Thundercats. Most of the reboots that have caused outrage are reboots of kids shows from the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. Most of the people that were watching these when they came out by now would be young adults, people that were just recently thrown into the real world. Except the 80s kids. If you are a 30-year-old getting angry about a bunch of drawings for children, I don't know what to tell you, man. Anyways, back to the people that were recently thrown into the real world. I'll admit, I'm just some dipshit 16-year-old that barely knows anything about life. But since I left school, I have had some real life experience, and I can say school does not prepare you for it. It's a topic that is talked about a lot, but I'm not here to fix the school system. I feel like we're getting thrown to the real world with a lot of responsibilities like taxes or paying bills without being introduced to these things. Therefore, we have to go find our safe place. Something from our childhood when we didn't really have to think about this. But this just isn't enough. There's got to be a reason to it, a psychological reason. So I asked Google, and boy, was I right. In this stress-filled life, we're constantly trying to find ways to ignore or avoid just that. So it wasn't completely off. It makes sense that we want to go back to that moment of peace. Maybe for some people, Thundercats or the original Teen Titans represents peace, even though all they do in those shows are fight. Anyways, that's it for today, guys. This was a little weird video. I didn't really have this video planned out. Like I said, it was originally the Teen Titans Go video, but at last minute I decided to change it. So yeah, peace out, guys. Remember that don't hate, just bake, and rate 5 stars on the video. Bye.